Hey guys, and welcome to another new lesson. Now today we've got a treat for you, which is one of our premium lessons from our Worship Guitar Skills Academy, with a deeper look into some cool voicings that you can play that really cuts through the mix. So enjoy this lesson, and if you'd like to be notified when the Worship Guitar Skills Academy opens up again for registration, you can just check the link in the description box. Alright guys, let's cut to that lesson right now. When I take a G chord, right, G triad, okay, it'll be G, B, and D. That's going to make up a G chord for me, all right? It's a G triad. But I can also play G, B, D on the same string. G, B, and D. Okay, we're not going to do the G string right now because we're only checking out 4-2 voicings, which is strings 4 and 2. So then I have D over here, G over there, and B over there. So just listen to these 6 notes after each other. I'm playing the G triad twice, essentially. On the D string, and now on the B string. Okay, and now I can join these together. So I can play G and D together. Now that's a G power chord, because there's no third. Or I can play, I go to my next note up, which will be a B here, and my next note up, which will be a G there. So it's B and G together, which is technically known as a first inversion. Now I know we are leaving out some notes, but just that's what we're just calling it for now, right? A first inversion, even though it doesn't have the fifth. And then over here, something interesting happens, because now after this B, I had the D, and after this G, I had the B, right? Because remember we had. Now check what happens here. I've got D and B. So the cool thing that happens here is there's no root in this chord. But I know that that note there is a G, which is why I can do that. Okay? So what does this mean? Well, I've got 3 voicings right now. This one, and this one. The first voicing doesn't have a third, which means it's neither major nor minor. It's just what we call a power chord. The second voicing doesn't have the fifth, so it's just got the root and the third. And then the third voicing doesn't have the root, it's just got the fifth and the third. Okay, so you're only highlighting some notes, you're not playing all notes of the triads, because if you did play all the notes of the triads, it would sound like this. And if I add my drive back there, you can hear it's going to be too much, right? It's kind of very predictable, right? Because now I'm just playing the 3 notes of a triad each and every time. Instead, when I have 2 notes each time, I have to leave out 1 note, and the mere fact of leaving out that 1 note kind of makes things a little bit more interesting. Okay, those are my 3 voicings. So now let's just say you need to play an intro to a song that's the chords are G, C, D. Okay, most people would probably go G, C, D. Others might go G, C, D. Okay, but if we take these voicings I showed you now, there's 2 approaches that you can take, right? Approach number 1 is you take the first shape for the G. You play that same shape on C. Okay, now I know that this is my root note. You can see that. If I move that to C and to D, so the same shape playing different chords. So check this out. So already that kind of sounds like an intro of a song might sound, and especially if the drums will play with you, along with the bass and maybe some keys and maybe some acoustic, these voicings will really cut through the mix, yet they still contain a lot of harmonic information, so you can hear exactly what's going on there from a chord point of view. I can also take G like this, C like that, and D like this. So how do I know these are a G, C, and D? Well, this chord we looked at before, it's a first inversion of a G triad. Even though we don't have the fifth, no problem. That's my root, right? Because you can see that's a G. So if this is a C, this will be a C chord. That's a D, that'll be a D chord. So now I can also technically do this. Okay, probably not your obvious choice for that, but you can certainly do that. I can also play G like this, C like that, and D like that. This will sound like this. Okay, now that sounds very different again because my third is on top, right? So I'm getting somewhere with this. I'm going to show you a cool way of actually combining and mixing and matching, but I just want you to hear what these voicings sound like if I use exactly the same voicing for all three chords. So let me show you using the root position, which is really a power chord. All right, let's check first inversion. Let's check our second version. Back to root position. So you'd probably agree with me that the root position had the coolest sound there, right? Whereas the others, they sounded interesting, but not quite what you'd want to do. And this kind of brings me to my point. If you use especially the first inversion and the second inversion, you wouldn't want to use that same inversion for all of your chords, because then we're back in that same kind of boat that we don't want to be in, which is like super predictable, right? So what would you do instead? Well, you would mix and match your voicings. So if I have a G over here, I can play C like this, and I can play D like that. Or I can play G like this, C like this, D like that. Or I can play G like this, C like this, D like that. All right. So what did I do? Well, instead of taking the same shape and jumping all over the neck, because you have to make big jumps if you want to play the different chords in the same shape. Instead of doing that, I used different shapes. I mixed and matched them together so that I can actually stay in one area of the guitar neck. And because I did that, I was able to have three different ways in which I can play that progression. One around the third position here, one around the 8th position, and one around, say, the 12th position. That makes a big difference. So let me play that for you now with the mix and matched variations of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. What did we do? We looked at three voicings for a G chord, what we would call a root position, even though it lacked the third, what we called the first inversion, even though it lacked the fifth, and what we call the second inversion, even though it lacked the root. Okay? Of those three voicings, I showed you where the root notes are. So for G, this is the G note. For the first inversion, that's a G note. For the second inversion, that'll be the G note, but I don't play to my chord. Because I know these three voicings and I know where the root notes are, I can move them anywhere on the guitar neck to give me the equivalent chords. And all of these chords were used for major chords. All right, so that's our first milestone that we are reaching here, just to kind of recap what we can do with those 4/2 voicings. I'm going to show you how to play the minor chords, and then I'm going to show you a very cool way in which you can start kind of going crazy with the different combinations, right, that you have at your disposal. And I'm going to talk to you about why that is important for you to actually sometimes take a bit more of a methodical, almost a mathematical approach to playing, just to kind of get out of the habit of where your fingers normally gravitate to, because that's going to open up new areas in the neck. And as you do that, your ear is going to hear, oh, wow, listen, that's what that sound is, that's what that sound is, etc. And then you can start using that in different ways in your playing. I'm going to show you cool ways to do that with ambient tones, with different rhythmic approaches, as well as how you can actually even use that for some lead guitar playing. This concept is very, very simple. We're using 2-note voicings, but in the way that we apply it, there's many variations on that. And most of these are super musical and fit the praise and worship genre just like a perfect fit glove. It's just made for that genre, so to speak, because they cut through the mix, yet they still maintain a lot of harmonic content and melodic interest, because you can do so much with these. All right, let's pause this video for now. If you need to, just watch it again. It's a basic concept, but it will take you so far once you have the basics down, and you can jump into the more advanced application of that. If you'd like to learn more about the different kind of voicings and techniques and kind of patterns and approaches that you have available to you when it comes to playing worship guitar, we've got a 7-day guitar challenge that you can sign up for 100% for free. When you sign up to the challenge, you're going to get backing tracks to practice with. You're going to get tabs so you can see exactly what you need to play, and you're going to learn 15 different popular types of guitar parts that you need to master if you want to be a competent and versatile worship guitarist. So the link for that is in the description box below. You can just go and click that link, go to the page, sign up to the 7-day guitar challenge, 100% free, and you get some cool goodies when you participate in the challenge. All right, guys, hope you join us for that one, and I hope you had fun looking at these parts for this lesson.